think of it as an investment, not as a cost, and measure the return on your investment, and I can promise you it will pay dividends tenfold. Yeah, so I started the business in 2013, pretty much when I met Mark. So I'd come straight out of corporate world, so it was very much in its infancy. The practice was in its infancy, minimal level of clients in the industry you work in. The kind of measure of a practice is by the assets under management. And by the end of that first year, we had like £1 million worth of assets under management. So if we compare that to where we are now, we're responsible for over 100 million. A big increase over time. Yeah. So coaching back in the day, I think, as I share with a lot of the business owners I work with, you walk out of your accountancy office thinking you're a business owner, but quite petrified, suffering from a bit of imposter syndrome, not knowing what's next. You don't know what you don't know. And working with Mark, it gave you that accountability to focus on the things that were important and helps you understand the key things in business that you need to focus on. Yeah, because you might be great in your industry, but that doesn't make you a great business owner. So Mark keeps you on track and holds you to account on all those key areas. From a very early stage, working with Mark, I understood the value of my time and the key areas that I need to focus on to get the maximum returns. I'd probably say about 6 to 12 months. I mean, you get your quick wins, and then you start to then develop that mindset that's important to, really embrace what Mark's delivering. And then even now, I look at my peer group and I think, I'm still practicing a lot of the things that we looked at right from the start, and it's like the simple components that you should be always looking at. So yeah, all the things that I done 12 years ago still benefiting today. I'd say tenfold, genuinely the turnover's increased. Profitability, depending on where you're at in that business journey, we're on a bit of a growth at the moment. We're trying to build infrastructure in the back office, so profitability has increased over the years, but over the last couple of years we've invested in growth. So, but yeah, exponentially, it's growing exponentially. The whole business is changed drastically, massively for the better. It's amazing, really, just that continuous personal development is something that I've always been quite passionate about. But I enjoy playing sport in my own personal time, and it's always that kind of how can you get better, and you adapt that in your business life. And I think one of the big thing, Mark, is that he does push you on that personal development, program. It's kind of like what books you reading, who you're hanging out with, and I think what you experience and what conferences you're going to. I think these are all things that people don't appreciate. They don't really appreciate just how important that is, because some of the things you'll learn today you might not need for another 6 to 12 months' time, and you should never, in my opinion, you should never stop learning. Mark is, as I say, has become a personal friend, and has helped me, my family, and a lot of my clients now immensely. You think back in 2020, when the world was kind of upside down, one of the first people that contacted me was Mark, just to check in how things going. Mark brings a great level of positivity, and I think I honestly don't know how other people outside of coaching get by day to day in business without having an accountable friend, someone they can rely on. Because a lot of the time you spend with your coach, you're just talking around things that are happening there and then, and it can almost be like a counselling session more than a coaching session to begin with. So yeah.
What would you say to